that I think is going to be really overpowered in Clanboss. And you're about to see why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do her ritual, and then I'm going to shove her into the Clanboss team.
I have so many champs that could
I know,
develop
but this
Clanboss.
specific champ is kind of like... She's like a really ghetto support.
Yeah.
Like a
But the problem
really
is,
ghetto support. Like, this lady can make it so that an ethos can't kill you.
yeah. But
Like,
the problem with me is that I need resources like books.
I know.
So,
I booked her last CVC though. Like, I
yeah.
booked her this champ I have, Ursula the Mourner. I booked her last CVC.
Oh, you have Ursula, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember her.
I'm doing her
That was one.
final I'm doing
That was
her
a
final
champion that was a
ritual.
pain for me to. That was a champion I encountered over and over again on my way to Gold One, and it made my life miserable.
Yeah, yeah. I'm putting her final ritual in. Like, she's probably the best support I have on this account other than like Syl. Like, she's one of the best thing, and the fact that I don't have her maxed, so I'm doing her ritual to max her out tonight. I know it's a little ambitious, but again, I'm feeling spicy, and I have like 17k energy on this account, so
She's
I'm
she's
gonna
on my
be
top 10. She's on my top 10 list of champions that I want.
like same. Like, I didn't realize I was gonna pull her. Like, I was pulling voids during CVC, and I saw her, and I was like, oh hell yeah, oh hell yeah. Like, it was almost the same way with Kimi, except I was like okay with Kimi. I really wanted Kimi, but it wasn't like who I was really looking for. The one that I was really gunning for was either on that account was either Brogni, Mashald, or Geomancer. I know Geomancer's not a legendary, but bear with me. Geomancer is stupid. Like, to the point where I don't care what people think of epics. I don't care at that point. Like, just Geomancer is not an epic. He's like a thing all by himself.
Yeah, well, there are some like Deacon Armstrong, for example. There's a good example,
He's not as powerful as
right? He's
Geomancer.
an
Like,
epic,
he's
right?
powerful. He's
He's an
powerful.
epic, but when I
Yes.
got him, he changed my account, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He changed my
He,
account.
he's
For what I had,
powerful, but he's not. I don't rate him as high as
right? He's
surprisingly.
yeah, he's not gonna be there. But when I put him as my speed lead, and then I
Yeah.
have
I still
Tomb
do
Lord,
use him. I still do use him.
right? So in Doom Tower, I have him as my speed lead usually, and then I have Tomb Lord. People are like, "Oh, why are you stacking two defense down and all that stuff?" I was like, "Because I'm stacking that
No,
that
you
speed
need
and
that. No,
turn meter."
you do need the defense down 100% in Doom Tower. Doom Tower is torture to do without defense down, and the
Yeah, but
reason
people are like, "You have Tomb Lord. Why do you need Deacon?" But they
no
don't
no no no
understand. I
no
need
you
him for the
need
speed lead and the turn meter
no no
to drop the turn meter.
you do need that, but you need as much decrease down as you can afford because
Yeah,
the defense in those mobs is, oh my god, like the defense in those mobs is just, I'm sorry, it's disgusting. Like, it's just like one of those things where you're just like
yeah.
the defense in those mobs is just like gross.
So my Tomb Lord has 290 speed. So with Deacon, right? My Tomb Lord just goes boom, 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 like that.
Well, no, Tomb Lord's great. Like, again, the main problem with, well, okay, the main thing you're gonna struggle with maybe with Tomb Lord, this is what I struggle with a cult brawler at least. The main thing you're gonna struggle with Tomb Lord is accuracy with your durability and health. Like, because like I'm gonna be honest with you. The amount of accuracy I have to pump on some of my poisoners, like a cult brawler, is disgusting. Like, I have to go above 400, 500 accuracy for some of these like big waves, and it's so hard to get the accuracy plus the durability at the same time, like the resist, the health, and the defense. That's probably going to be your biggest hurdle when building Tomb Lord, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Well, I
My
don't know.
only
Like that.
problem
That's
in
just
Doom
my.
Tower is Babu.
Bommel
You
is
yeah, that's the
okay.
only problem. I can
I'll
make it all the way to the last boss the
I'll
last time.
I'll give you a couple of things about Bommel. All right. So the first thing you need to know is you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot cleanse the bombs. So don't even get
I
any
know that.
ideas. Oh, is more than that. You can't cleanse them or transfer them. So Sanguinia is useless versus Bommel. Okay, the next thing you need to know is that resistance is very important. Resistance and high health. Because the bombs ignore defense completely. And on top of that, you need a lot of healing. Preferably healing that either is Perfect Veil, so the bombs can't really go through Perfect Veil, or it has like just a boatload of resistance, because you can't have the bombs get stripped. You need also damage mitigation, stuff like Vogoth, stuff like block damage. Yeah, block damage or
Yeah.
strengthen is insane, especially block damage. The boss has zero answers for block damage, as long as the block damage is not stripped. As long as the block damage is not stripped, it has zero answers for that buff. That's why you can solo a Templar if you get the tempo going. The tempo has to be perfect. If the block damage does not go off when the bombs go off, your champ just dies. So that's most of how you do Bommel, but he's still, I absolutely hate him. I have an account that could beat him, and I can show that live if you would like to see that, but the problem is, he isn't the reason why I can't clear the tower. I don't like to admit this, but the reason that my first account can't clear the tower is literally, and I'm working on this, to deal with the Mishal Duchess waves on the way to the final Griffin. I'm not kidding. Like, Mishal Duchess with like a sill on there, it's like, oh my god. Because just to get past that, you have to keep a block revive alive long enough. I have a video on it on YouTube. I haven't like I haven't shown it really recently because what happened was, like I said, I got involved with Diablo and I got obsessed with it because like the idea of finding that demon somewhere hiding somewhere is like the demon you've never met before is like really fascinating. Like it really interests me. You know, it's one of those things that happens with a game that you've never played before. That's like, I don't know. Sometimes like new stuff really interests me. Like it gets my curiosity is like once a game gets older, like my curiosity, like when I've played it a lot, it's not as much as when I first start the game. Like when I first start the game and I don't know what's coming next or don't know where the guy is or whatever, that's when like my interest sometimes in like content is at its maximum. So that's part of why I've been doing it. Same with Avion Expert, because although I've played it many times, I haven't played it on a difficulty that literally like changes the game. It's like a whole new game. It's not the same thing anymore. Okay, so I'm going through, back to my actual, what I'm actually doing. Going through the catacombs with Ursula. She's fighting her way through the undead bone knights and dampiers and banshees. But yeah, because she's got some final work to get in, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give her some silver as well, in addition to, you know, everything else she's doing. But yeah. This will also take care of the daily quest as well. I'm also trying to use up this boost. So... But yeah, this champ, I'm going to be maxing her in this episode, even if I have to dump a bunch of potions on her. I'm going to do it. Because I know that she's going to play a massive role in the Clanboss, because she's got a revive with a 3-turn strengthen. Do you know how OP that is? Versus like Clanboss plus a decreased attack? Like, that's nasty. Versus Clanboss. That's why I'm bothering on maxing her tonight. Like, not just taking her to rank 6, but actually taking her to 60. That's why I'm bothering. Because I want to see her in action specifically above all the other champs. Like, I want to see like her boost the damage of this team. I also have to check her gear. Because it's my KL one-shots this wave in Durham Forest. Yeah, I got out of the catacombs. We're in Durham now. Durham used to have a lot of significance for this account back when Spirit Host was like a bigger deal. Like, Spirit Host is still decent. I still use her sometimes, but she became a lot more niche once I found other cleansers. Like, once you find other cleansers, Spirit Host isn't as big of a deal. But in the early game, like, especially like early on, Spirit Host is like a godsend. Especially against Bistophis. Bistophis, the boss of Hollowed Halls, if you don't have a Spirit Host early game, getting past him before rank 6 is practically impossible on Brutal. Like, you really want to have your Spirit Host available to help you with that in the early game. So that's why this specific stage has a lot of meaning. The other one that has a lot of meaning in the early, in these stages, is the first one, because you get Valerie as like one, and War Priest as your first healers. So there's that. You know what? I'm just gonna maybe skim through the stages that mean a lot, like the ones that do a lot for you early game. Maybe I'll just do that, you know? And then I'm gonna go dump a bunch of potions on her, get her to 60, and then throw her in the Clanboss. And see how she affects Clanboss. That is my plan.
Yeah, earlier I had Reliquary Tender, so...
Oh, I have her still. Yep.
Yeah.
She's still here.
So, for early stuff and everything like that. But I use her sometimes now, but I never took her past 50.
No, I got her to 6-star. She works in a lot of good content. I still use her. I still use her, but her uses are more limited. Because what happens is, in some situations, I need, like, Cardinal, and now I'm replacing Cardinal for most content with Ursula, or maybe having Cardinal and Ursula go back and forth. Because both Cardinal and Ursula have team revives, but Ursula is the more powerful character because of the strengthen and the increased defense. You can never, and in the decreased attack, you can never discount how powerful that is. That's very powerful for arena and for like advanced stuff like Mr. like this dragon. Like, notice how much of a damage reduction it is. Normally that head cleaver, like their head taker, would normally take so much more damage. She now is not even affected by the dragon. Like, that is how big of a deal that strengthen is. The 3-turn strengthen with the increased defense. That's how big of a buff that is. It's utterly massive. Oh, I do have Aothar. I almost forgot about it. I might help him out in the journey. You know? Now that you mention Aothar. Remember how you were talking about Aothar earlier?
Yeah.
Yep. I have Aothar.
I alternate with different affinities between him.
Yeah, I have Aothar, but he's a very recent champ on here. But, I mean, I was planning on maxing him, but the second I saw Ursula, I'm like, oh, hell no. I am maxing Ursula first. There's no way I'm leaving that champ alone.
That's how that works.
It's like, oh, I just, it's like, it's basically like I struck gold. It was like, oh, man, I basically struck gold. Second I saw her walk out of the portal, I was like, who's this? It's an epic. Who is it? Who's the epic? Oh my god. I'm always like hyped whenever I see gold, but especially if the gold is like an actual like really powerful character. Yeah. I'm hoping to pull a Mashald one day. I mean, he's still useful, even if I have a Lady Kimi, but at least Lady Kimi might give me the possibility of coping with Mashald's existence until that point. Until the point that Mashald decides, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to jump out of that portal. Or Brogni. Brogni works too. That little elf. One time I thought I pulled Brogni and I was like losing my mind. But then when I saw who it was, I was like, oh no, really? He was gold, but he was a short stature. I still have him. He's actually useful versus Bommel. He's Brogni's discount cousin. Beauregard. The Elder. He's still useful because he has an increased resistance buff. He reduces the amount of resistance you need to put on your champs. He's still not as good as Brogni, though. Because Brogni does a lot more for your team. Which is why I still am looking for him. Because I know that I can make the like unbelievably insane Clanboss team with like Hellborn Sprite and Corpulent Cadaver. And I have like multiple Corpulent Cadavers if I can just get the core ingredient, the Brogni. But I can't yet.
I've fed so many of those cadavers.
Same. It's like, oh my god, no, I wanted like a Mashald or a Brogni, not another cadaver. Not another cadaver. He's very good with a shield on him because he does damage equal to the shield. So if you have someone like Brogni who infinitely increases shields, he can do over 1 million a turn. But you need to have that degree of shields. This is Queen Ava. I pulled her once on an account. That account died mysteriously when I couldn't get access to it after I tried to move my computer once during a crisis. But, cause, the disease crisis caused a lot of turbulence in general. Just in general. I just refer to call it the disease crisis for safety because there are some restrictions and stuff involved with that. Actually, no, this isn't the one that's really significant. I need to go to the one that's really significant, which is the one after this.
The disease crisis. Is that for YouTube?
Yeah, I just call it the disease crisis. It pretty much sums up what happened.
Yeah. A lot of people have different names for it.
Yeah, pretty much
YouTube censors is very stupid.
true. True. What else is really significant early game? I mean, I guess Templar could, but the other one I wanted to do was the Barbarians area, because that's where you get your War Maiden, and War Maiden is significant a ways into the game. I mean, she has weaknesses. War Maiden's biggest weakness is got to do with two problems. She's kind of a one trick. Well, actually, a two trick. She does two main, well, three things. One of them is not an in game thing. Well, not entirely. So she's got, like, she decreases defense, she does damage, and she offers crowd appeal. So she's got those three things that she does. The problem is, she doesn't offer decreased turn meter, no turn meter drop. She doesn't have any like defensive attributes she puts to your team, like no other utility other than drop defense and damage. She also is low on the defense herself. Like she's squishy. She's hard to build like for advanced content because she's squishy. Her multipliers are actually kind of good. They're just hard to use because of that. And her stats, her base stats, and her overall stats are limited because she's a rare. She also doesn't strip the buffs from an enemy. She struggles against teams that have the ability to buff themselves to stop the buffs. Like she has no block buffs. Like she's limited in what she can do, and this becomes more and more of a problem as you progress. And this is War Maiden. Yeah. I mean, she looks awesome. She does the job that she's intended to do. But because she doesn't do anything else, that's where the limitations of War Maiden start to seep in. Although most average players will never get to see that. That's the hilarious part, because they usually will not make it far enough in this game to actually see when War Maiden starts to drop off. Slowly but surely. Now, Deacon doesn't drop off much further into the game. And you can make it so that he... Now, there is one further decreased defense champion that never falls off. But I only have her on this account, and her name is Madame Saris. I only have one of her on here, but she is still a big deal. Because she is an unconditional decreased defense buff stealing champ. So yeah, I've got her to level 45. Let's see how much silver we have. I have to check her gearing. I don't know, I'm just trying to like get like lock active skills is nice for Aothar. Although it would be better if you put it on an AoE. AoE block active skills is much mightier, as you might imagine. Okay, who is valuable? Okay, Saurus is valuable early game, so... Well, actually, what I'm going to start doing is, I'm just going to start pumping all the XP into her now with the levels. Because I want to get her as close as I can to 60. I'm trying to get her to 60 and get her gear maxed. Make sure all her
Clanboss down to 121.76 million.
That's actually highly impressive. Okay, first I'm gonna go see if I can... Cause see, the real purpose of this is I want to show the ceremony of getting her to where I want her at. This Ursula, before I get her into the Clanboss. And show how it boosts damage.
Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Gotta take a break, do something.
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to finish up my Ursula video.
I'll
Yep.
let you know when I'm back.
Alright. Let's see. Ursula. Alright. I'll give you some brews. Actually, no. We're gonna do this the hard way. First things first. Sell all the plain stuff. Because we don't need it. Because I'm gonna have to spend a lot of silver to get her gear where I need it. That is the bitter reality of it. Okay. So, to finish building Ursula, I'm gonna have this as a part 1.